from two captains, Aisling Davidson for Hills United and Amelia Kirby for Sydney Uni. And is the home side, Hills United, getting set to kick off. We'll try and sneak through at least the starting lineups as quick as we can. Firstly, for Hills United, in goal, number 30, Kiara O'Brien. Then number 3, the skipper, Aisling Davidson. Number 4, Charlotte Hogan. Number 6 is Brooke Hasty. Number 7, Paula Boza. Number 10, Bianca Swerob. Number 15, Tamsin Buchanan. Number 17, Olivia Sloan. Team of the week last week for Olivia, as there's the whistle, away we go. Number 18, Erin Tavares. Number 22, Neve Burns. And number 36 is Libby Morris. Now we'll take you through that Sydney Uni lineup. Actually, I might try and sneak it in now. So number 1, the keeper, about to boot the ball right now, is Hannah Callahan. Number 4, Talia Sambrook. Number 5, the captain, Amelia Kirby. Number 6, Juliet Harris. Number 8, Madison van Dyke. Number 9, the hat-trick hero from last weekend, Poppy Tay. Number 18, back into the lineup, is Kiara Bonora. Number 20, Ellen Hughes. Number 24, Xantha Yurdic. Number 28, Isabella Rad. And number 39 is Asha Sutton. Actually, I recalled the Sydney Uni game last week, so before I put my foot in my mouth, so to speak, yes, Asha Sutton was the scorer of a good individual goal last time out, and she has certainly caught the eye in the early rounds of this season. So there was a game last night. I was on the match of the round in similarly chilly conditions to this one at the always cold North Taramara Recreation Area, and a great win for the youngsters in the red and black Western Sydney Wanderers Academy, staying undefeated through the opening 6 rounds of the season, defeating the Tigers by 2-0. And we do have another full-time result from this round, one of the games today, 3 p.m. at Linwood Stadium, or Linwood Park, depending on how you want to call it. But that was a 4-0 victory for Macarthur Rams over Spirit FC. And that's worked back to O'Brien. Davidson. Nice thrill for Aisling Davidson. And you may have seen this on the NPL New South Wales socials. Aisling Davidson named Defender of the Month for March. Aisling getting a lot of love from the Football New South Wales media, that's for sure. As it's Morris under pressure from Bonora, and Morris rolls it to Buchanan. Boza helps it on. Here's Morris. And Morris, that's a nice ball for Neve Burns. And options in the middle, Burns goes direct, and it's safe hands from Hannah Callahan. And I am reminded, it's amazing what seems to happen across the NPL grounds. As soon as daylight saving ends, suddenly it's about 15 degrees colder. And you may be able to hear it on RFX, Mike. Actually, as Davidson intercepts there, goes back to Uni, but it is actually fellow NPL New South Wales commentator, Alex Molchanov, who nicknamed this venue the Wind Tunnel, and I am reminded exactly why. On evenings like this, that's a good header, a good stop from Hasty. Now Morris. So, Hills United 12th, 12th in the table as we head into this game, and their historic first win in the women's top tier in NPL Women's came 2 weeks ago when they defeated Sydney Olympic by 2-1. 2-1 at, I've got blank. It's a new venue, the Crest in Georges Hall. One of the goal scorers that day pressing right now is number 22, Neve Burns, and Buchanan is up to press as well. Now that's the run. Harris just lets the ball get away from her. Davidson to Hasty. It's those two been part of a very successful centre-back partnership at Hills United for quite a long time, but quite a few seasons, Davidson and Hasty. And 2 big reasons why Hills were promoted at the end. Promoted to NPL from League One Women's at the end of the 2025 season. So there's the header from Sloan. Back to Harris now, and goes left to Yurdic. Buchanan with the defensive pressure, and Sutton is able to face the goal. Here's Sutton. Going sideways, the ball in is cleared away by Sloan. That's one for Rod to chase. That's going to get away from her. So other games to be played in this, NPL Women's New South Wales Round 6. So there are two 5 p.m. kickoffs. Firstly, in Poppenetta Park, a game between the Rangers and RPL Leichhardt. Also another 5 p.m. kickoff, and that one, I believe, it's this competition's first ever game at Lakelands Oval in Dapto, which is Illawarra Stingrays hosting Bulls FC Academy. And then a curious one, the always curious 5:10 p.m. kickoff at the Arctic Circle with Ravens. No, my notes have gone smudged again. But anyway, Ravens have a home game at 5:10 p.m. And then there will also be a 5:40 p.m. game between Sydney Olympic and UNSW at the Crest. And crossed in, and Burns will chase. Got close to it, but it is gathered by Callahan. Actually, I might go. Now that goes out. So Buchanan going back to Davidson. A windy early evening here in Blacktown Council, but that's just the way I like it. A little shimmy from Davidson. Now Buchanan, side nearest to us. And Boza. It's a back from Burns, but there's not much space. Buchanan is the open player. Now forward, Swearum. And Uni have the ball back to Sandbrook. As the header, go for a header from Hasty. I think that's Tay trying to hold it up. Handball shout's not heeded. Tay will run, find Sutton left side. This is kind of the area where she likes to operate. Left wing, one-on-one. A little fake, and it's low, and that'll be easy for O'Brien. Flag was up, but then dropped very quickly by the assistant on the far side because O'Brien had the ball. So, across to Hasty it goes. For Hills, as Morris, the sharp turn, and Morris actually able to keep the ball moving forward. Nice return pass from Sloan. Two former Rams, Liv Sloan and Olivia Morris combining there. And back. Hasty to Davidson once more as Uni stand off the ball. Ah, that's better. The ceiling lights at Valentine Sports have been turned on. Now I can see a little bit better. A little bit better. As Bonora will play it forward, and that should be a rather comfortable one for the keeper. And in fact, that's Kiara O'Brien with the universal signal for relax. Hand stretch out, relax, I've got this. Sloan. Now that's Tavares, and that's intercepted there by Kirby. Kirby drives forward. Time to join the attack for a moment. There's a ball. I think that's Tay chasing. Far side. Tay to the byline. And Davidson blocking the path to goal, but that will be the first corner of the game going to the students. Now ball comes in, and O'Brien just about blocked it. Still alive for Uni, and it could be a chance, and there's the goal for Isabella Rad, and Sydney Uni have struck first. There's a bit of pinball in the box. Quick reactions from Rad, and it's Sydney Uni 1, Hills United 0. Isabella Rard, that's her second goal of the season. In fact, she scored the kind of goal I like to call that, the cherry on the Sunday, the 6th goal in Sydney Uni's 6-2 victory. Last time out, that was the Catholic Easter Sunday game against Stingrays, as that runs out. Now that, infringement by Sydney Uni. Sorry, it's a bit slow picking up the signals, but that is going to be a Hills free kick, and Sloan will be over the ball. There's dead ball coming up. There we go. Into the 11th minute we go, and it's Isabella Rard, who at the moment, of course there's a long way to go, is the difference maker. So Sloan floats it into a decent area. Davidson's attacking it. Sydney Uni head and cleared sideways. That will be a throw-in to Hills. Davidson, of course, actually from memory, I've seen my notebook somewhere. I think she scored 6 times last season for Hills United. So one of the obvious targets whenever the team in yellow and navy have an attacking set piece. Throw in from Buchanan off a Hills head, and that's the clearance, which will swing away. And of course, you can see, and possibly hear as well, the challenge facing the players tonight with these lofted balls, as there's another decent length Buchanan throw. The wind is going to affect these lofted balls. Sloan backwards. And Hills will start again. Now. Hills going left. Now Swerob. And now Bozza, decent return ball. I think Swerob stayed on side. He's got a hold of the ball. Now, centrally, here's Burns looking for support. It's coming down the right side. There's Buchanan with Urich, I think, out to defend. Decent ball in. Morris. And Morris is stopped by Harris. Now, it goes an awkward height, and Tay. Poppy Tay could be in here. It's Tay. Ball goes behind her. Still has a shot. Good block from Davidson. And strong in the one-on-one defending. Clean as well from the Hills United captain. Yordich, and intercepted by Morris. Davidson, and I'll start again with the pass to the goalkeeper. Now, I mean, this is always a decision that's fraught with danger, but I'm going to try some sneaky multitasking here. And see what's going on around the grounds. Phil passing at the back. I see the Ravens are leading 2-0 at the Arctic Circle. Good for them, as it's looped up, and then decent header. I think that's from Harris. Meanwhile, it's goalless. It's goalless at Lakelands Oval between Stingrays and the Bulls. I'm actually getting a first look. My first look. Yes, I'm watching this game as well, don't mind, as Davidson takes over. But filming from pitch level, decent. The pitch looks to be in good condition. I hope that stays the same throughout the course of the winter season. In fact, by the way, as Pasty plays it out to Sloan and then gets the return pass, it does look like Bulls have just taken the lead over Stingrays. Still goalless at Popondetta Park between the Rangers and Arpia. Bozza, and couldn't find Burns with the return ball. Harris is in the way. Clears it, but only as far as Sloan. Hogan playing against her old club. Charlotte Hogan, formerly of Sydney Uni, and now the turnover, and it's Poppy Tay with support arriving. And then couldn't squeeze away through as Hasty aims for the sideline, but it's kept in, and the ball will go into the middle. So O'Brien's up at the back post. Sutton half step away from having a shot at goal, and then it's gone out. So that's going to be a goal kick. Wide. And Swear making a run beyond the ball. Tavares has the pass blocked. Now, good header there. But then Hills, when it's in Uni territory, here's Buchanan. Decent curl on that one, and it curls actually away from everyone gathered in the middle, beating both the defenders and the attackers, so a goal kick it is. Now bounces away from Buchanan, but she knew she could just let that go out. Bozza, that's a nice lifted ball. Neve Burns. Buchanan towards the centre. Morris tries to make a play at it. Here's Hogan. And Hogan, it's up. And something for Tavares to chase. It is cleared. Hasty gets the jump there. Important for her to get ahead of Poppy Tay, because it's been Poppy Tay's had a very promising opening. I was full of confidence, as you'd expect. Hogan stepping in there, and then now moved wide. Buchanan. Now, it's Tavares. Back to Hasty. Sloan. It's up. Zwerb will get a flick, and that'll run through to Callahan. Now, Moore Hill's possession with Hogan. Swerve. Buchanan. Now Burns, blocked off by two. Buchanan will get a touch here for Hills. Morris, they keep bouncing it. There's space to the left, but they keep it more the right of centre. Burns on the half turn, out wide. Here's Swerve, keeps it in. Flat ball, and bounces really up for grabs. Libby Morris has a shot, it's deflected, and it's wide for the first Hills United corner of the game. Everyone except Tay back to defend this set piece for Uni. It comes up, and Hasty's up there. Brooke Hasty scores, and Hills have equalised. A great ball into the middle. Brooke Hasty rose above the crowd. Textbook downward header, and Hills have an equaliser. And it's 1-1 between Hills United and Sydney University. There we go, Hasty off the mark for 2026. As the wind continues to blow, at least, well, actually, let me check. As far as I can tell, with the always slightly disgusting put your finger in a mouth, stick your finger up in the air and see which side of your finger gets cold. Always a little bit disgusting, that trick, but still a best way to figure out which way the wind's blowing. Anyway, back to my original point, that the wind appears to be a crosswind, blowing rather uncomfortably, for us at least, in the faces of the people in the grandstand, but not favouring any particular side. Wow, that was a really long way to describe that it was a crosswind for the players. Flat delivery off the set piece. Now Hogan. This wind. Anyway, well, I mean, I've got the easy job. As long as I can keep talking, and people, long-time viewers of the Football New South Wales YouTube streams will know that's not going to be a problem. So, anyway, it's out, and Buchanan, who's, well, to be fair, she's had a few throws, so her shoulders are going to be possibly a little bit warmer than normal. But I'd take these conditions. I'd be happy if any part of my body was warm, as Davidson passes to Hasty. The fourth player to score an NPL goal for Hills this season, the others being Erin Tavares, who scored twice, as well as Ellen Berrios and Neve Burns. Good first touch from Swearer. Now, it's a foul by Bonora. So, of course, I have a notebook. And anyway, back to that. As Davidson plays it in and breaks to the edge of the box. Boza shoots and actually then hit her in the face. So, well, stoppage, yeah, I suppose, yeah. That's a bit unfortunate for Hills because they did have the ball in the box, but yeah, you got to treat head knocks seriously, and especially because any kind of deflection could have hit Boza. Ball could have hit Boza again. So yeah, I think a bit unlucky for Hills, but you got to stop the play here. And actually, soon enough, well, you'd think a Hills person would be on the field at some point. It's a test by our side. It was a, yes, still being seen to. In fact, yes, now the physio is going to be on the field. In fact, well, I think this is where experienced campaigners would be telling their players to stay warm. In fact, Uni, perhaps rather smartly, trying to get whatever shelter they can near near their technical area. And of course, this is like a impromptu timeout, you could say. As Hills gather in the center circle, Uni getting instructions from Xavier Taylor, providing his wisdom based on what we've seen in the opening 23 minutes. 23 minutes that has seen a goal for each side. It was Isabella Rad opening the scoring for Sydney Uni early on, and the equaliser came from a set piece and a towering header courtesy of Brooke Hasty of Hills. So that's how we got to where we are, 1-1. So good to see Bozza's back on her feet. Walking slowly to the sideline. But hopefully she'll be okay to continue. In fact, yeah, she's feels well enough to signal for something, Paula Bozza. So I think we'll be okay. And then, well, so yeah, as I said, this unlucky for Hills losing the attacking opportunity, but Bozza's okay. Should be back on the field, I hope, which is the main thing. Now Buchanan under pressure from Sutton. Now Hasty turns Tavares. Now little tumble, but we'll go on with Morris. Interesting ball, and it's cleared, I think, by a Sandbrook. Now, Buchanan down the line. And there you go. Bit of scramble there, and then works for Sydney Uni as we're into the 27th minute here, and gorgeous sunset in the background. We do love these, sorry, which way does the sunset? West. Anyway, decent cross, and it's batted into the synthetic turf and then gathered by Callahan. Now, here's Buchanan. Touch off Sutton, I think it is, out for a throw-in. Now down the right, Burns once again. Decent cross and not dealt with. So there's a block on the line. Heroic stuff that to stop Hills going 2-1 up. Didn't quite see who it was, but it's excellent defending as Davidson plays it to Sloan. Now, okay, well, I'll hedge my bets. That crucial block on the line was, I reckon it was either Talia Sandbrook or Juliet Harris. Whoever it was, that was brilliant. Now, Sloan trying to get the jump on their opponents. Bozza trying to break it up. Morris kind of straight to the defense, but a decent try, and that Uni not able to get out of their own half. Hasty working it back to the keeper, getting close to the half-hour mark here. And Davidson long, possibly affected by the wind, headed away by Uni. Now sideways, that's Hogan. Ah yes, this wind keeps going on. I just realize I need to remember where my gloves are. I'm going to need them soon. The thermals as well. As flicked header on. And Burns putting the pressure on Juric here. Juric just goes safe, plays it over the sideline. Now, cleared away. Controlled well by Davidson. Another centre back to centre back pass. Now, Uni not trying to block the path to goal. Hasty steps up, keeps it away from her opponents. The interesting ball, and that's a good head, I think, from Harris. Oh, sorry, Juric, my apologies. And Burns. Knee Burns lets it run over the sideline. And then, well, there we go, when in doubt, chuck it down the line. Meters gained for Sydney Uni. Buchanan. Davidson, good pass. But Uni stand from the centre of the park. There's Van Dijk. And now Kirby. Bit of a heavy touch, but she'll try to go on with it. That's good work from Kirby. And then Hasty has had enough of that. Into the fence it goes. Rod plays it out wide. Sloane's in the way and over the sideline. Throw in an attacking position for Sydney Uni. That's Van Dijk hustling to keep it in that corner at least. But then Sloane near the corner flag. The pressure's coming. Sloane. I think that's Tavares. Oh, that's good skill on the far touchline. Now that's a bit... That's what Hills wanted. Now Uni racing back. It's given them some room. And here's Buchanan. Now Hasty, diagonal to Sloane. Tavares. Oh no, wide player now inside. Boza to the byline, but offside. Buchanan lunging in there. Morris can't find a way forward. It's good defending from Juric. Now Boza and scrambling possibly Kirby, and then Kirby ducked away out of a clearance which was mishit. Burns bounces it. I can't bounce it towards a teammate. Good tackle from Hogan. Morris keeps it away from Uni. Hogan again. Burns. Now Zwerb whips it in. Nice good defending there in the box. Out as far as Hogan. Left to Sloane. Sloane trying to go direct. It goes up into the early evening sky. Spinning like a Shane Warne leg break there, but now Sydney Uni. Great tackle from Hasty. Now Sutton down the line, and Davidson plays it into Rod. Hasty's there, tries to cushion it, and Burns quick enough to tow it towards Hogan. Now Tavares outnumbered there. Here's Van Dijk for Uni. Right, was strong, but kind of outnumbered, and then, I thought, for a moment, it would be Hogan pinged for playing the ball on the ground, but it's gone back for an earlier infringement by Sydney Uni, so Hills free kick. Morris, use of the body, wins the free kick. Now possibly another attacking set piece for Hills United. Thanks to that helpful thumbs up from a spectator. Told we're actually live now at Valentine Sports Park. There's Eric Subihana with the mic. Commentary for Hills United versus Sydney University. I'll recap what I think was missed due to technical issues. We apologise for that. But firstly, set piece from Paula Boza. It's up, keeper's out, but it's a good defensive header nonetheless. And up and out it goes. So brief recap. So it's 1-1 between Hills and Sydney Uni. Isabella Rad opened the scoring in about the first 10 minutes. Close range finish to put Sydney Uni 1-0 up. The Hills equaliser came off a corner, a towering header from Brooke Hasty, her first goal of the season. That's how we got to where we are. It's 1-1, and it's also really, really windy. Our good friend Alexander Molchanov, fellow Football New South Wales commentator. Yep. There's a reason he calls this venue the Wind Tunnel, as the throw-in from Buchanan escapes everyone, and it is a goal kick. Actually, you know what? Let's go through the lineups again. Time to check the trusty dribble app. Should I have written this down in my book before the game ball? Yeah, but there's lots of things I should have done. As Sydney Uni are playing out from the back. I think that's Sambrook forward, and Tay, good bounce pass out wide. I think that will be Uni captain Amelia Kirby, and then Sloan for Hills to intercept. That's out. Now flick on there, and Davidson swings the left boot. Only as far as Kirby, one captain to another, and then Davidson is in there again. Burns, now Morris. Backing away as Boza, but his teammate might have gotten in the way. And decision goes Uni's way. Now, Lenora forward down the left. Lenora back into the starting lineup for this round. Wins a throw in good attacking territory. I promise I'll go through those lineups again. I'm just waiting for a kind of what would be a longer break and play, if that makes sense. That's off Hogan for a corner. I'll try sneak it in now for Hills. In goal, number 30, Kiara O'Brien. In defence, number 17, Olivia Sloan. Number 6, Brooke Hasty. Number 3, the captain, Aisling Davidson. Number 15, Tamsin Buchanan. In midfield, number 4, Charlotte Hogan. And number 36, Libby Morris. And number 7, Paula Boza. In attack, number 18, Erin Tavares. Number 10, Bianca Swerob. And number 22, Neve Burns. Just got that in. I'll do the Sydney Uni lineup later. Anyway, Sydney Uni corner. Swinging in. O'Brien is up. Got two hands to it. Helped out by her teammates with the clearance. Now about 30 yards out. Played towards the middle and intercepted by Buchanan, who's had a good game so far. And forward, Boza hits it up, and it's one for Swerob to chase. She will chase. Juric under pressure. Juric goes over the sideline. By the way, before I forget, I need to apologise for a mistake I made repeatedly in the round 1 game between Hills United and Bulls FC Academy. Of course, Bianca Swerob, lots of people will know her as Bianca Galliini, but there was a marriage in the off-season, so she is now known as Bianca Swerob. So apologies to Bianca and apologies to her husband, Jaden. Anyway. Hasty to the left. And to Sloan. Yep, I will go through that Sydney Uni lineup, although by the time I get to it, it'll probably be half time. Doing my best here. Davidson is near the touch line, floats it in, and it's cleared up and into that beautiful night sky. Man, sneaky enough to take some photographs while I was doing commentary, because you can't miss a football-related sunset. Oh no. Down the line from Buchanan, and now Urich trying to shepherd it. That is how that go. Great defending from Urich. Anyway, Sydney Uni lineup up there. So in goal, number 1, Hannah Callahan. In defence, number 5, the captain, Amelia Kirby. Number 4, Talia Sandbrook. Number 6, Juliet Harris. Number 24, Xanthi Urich. In midfield, number 18, Kiara Bonora. Number 8, Madison Van Dyke. Number 28, Isabella Rad. Up front, number 9, Poppy Tay. Number 39, Asha Sutton. And number 20, Ellen Hughes. Tay, the centre forward, flanked by Hughes and Sutton. So that's how I've seen it on average for the opening 40.5 minutes. As Tay's going to run at Hasty. And Hasty cool, as she usually is, to find Buchanan. Forward swerve to chase Harris. It's the jump and has a little bit of help. But the ball there picked up, not literally of course, by Bosa. There's Van Dyke. And Morris will settle it. Backwards pass to Buchanan. 42nd minute here with the score 1-1 between Hills United and Sydney University. Now, the tackle now, Sloan. The ball get past her, and now it's forward to Poppy Tay, and Tay is out wide. Good speed and a tight angle. Great tackle, or as I would say, a standard Aisling Davidson tackle. Corner kick. Now, while I was just checked, there was a bit of a collision near midfield, but as I look up, everyone is on their feet. That's what you want to see. Oh yes, there's probably 2 sets of substitutes. I should do those at some point as well. But first, Sydney Uni corner. I've completely lost count of these. I try to keep track of corners. I reckon that's corner number 3 for Uni. The left footer to take it. Will land near the edge of the box. A couple of Hills touches, and it's going to be Hughes. And Hughes has the cross blocked. Sloan with the tackle there. And it's up, and it's going to drop. Oh, it's a good save. Needed the fingertips from O'Brien. Another Uni corner. On the Sydney Uni bench, Evie Fisher is the backup keeper. We also got Alice Thompson, Jenny Hill, Emily Brewster, Nor Hijazi, Claudia Pickett, and Sienna Barham. While on the Hills bench, Nicola Simmons is the backup shot stopper. The other players we may see later, Ellen Berrios, Madison Tassis, there's another marriage I remembered, Portia Berrios, Rachel Glendenning, Amy Mastop, and it's a welcome back to the Hills United squad for last year's League One Women's Player of the Year, Isabella Muscat, who also got married during the off-season. Anyway, corner to the near post, and safe hands from O'Brien. Up, and I think possibly the wind took that away from Swerup. Now that alert defending from Burns, and she's won the free kick as well. So perhaps do a brief wrap of the scores from around the grounds. I was on the mic last night at the equally cold North Taramara Recreation Area. Northern Tigers 0, Western Sydney Wanderers 2. Good on the Wanderers. The youngsters in the red and black for beating Tigers. And the 3 p.m. kickoff at Linwood Stadium. Might want to put stadium in inverted commas, but anyway. But 4-0 to MacArthur Rams over Spirit FC. Swerup stopped by Harris, but temporarily good work from Swerup. Now Boza aimed it, didn't kind of lofted it more than she would have wanted. It's cleared. Left for Davidson. that played out Hill's throw, and the stoppage time is almost upon us. In fact, actually, now I've looked at my stopwatch, we are in stoppage time. That scoreboard you would see on the other side of the ground, I think it started a bit late. Anyway, we've had about 30 seconds of time added on as Hasty reads the play well. Burns to Swerb. Almost said Gallieni. Anyway, Swerb. Not much room. Oh, she's gotten past two. That's brilliant. And the cross to the far post. It's over Tavares. Sloan trying to recover it around the back. But that'll be a Sydney Uni ball. Davidson takes over. Just neat footwork to keep it away from Tay, I think it was. It's really an interesting battle. Tay coming off a hat-trick last week up against Hasty and Davidson, two defenders who played next to each other for a long time. Swerb. One for Burns to chase, but Callahan, good starting position, as the keeper coaches like to say, and it's pretty easy for her to gather the ball. We've had 90 seconds of time added on, roughly. Rad dropping deeper, settling possession. Now touched by Davidson and sends it forward. Hogan sends it forward again. Now Tavares challenging for that, but good defending from Sandbrook. And that's half-time. The scores are even. The teams are going to head to the dressing rooms, which, because the Asian Cup is over, they can use now here at Valentine Sports Park. It's 1-1 between Hills United and Sydney University. Goals for Isabella Rad of Uni and Brooke Hasty of Hills. And it's time to take a break. This is Eric Subihana with the commentary. Thanks for your support of NPL Women's New South Wales and the Football New South Wales YouTube channel. I'm going to try and hide from the wind for the next 10 minutes or so. We'll see you soon. Oh, whoops. Welcome back to the second half of our NPL Women's New South Wales coverage. Right on cue. There's the whistle. Away we go. It's all square between Hills United and Sydney University. And in this round 6 clash, who will come out on top? Will the honours remain even? Eric Subihano with the commentary here from Valentine Sports Park. Sloan plays it forward. And seen a good contest, as you usually get in this competition. Burns running at Juric. Ball into the middle. Now there's the layoff and the shot, which does not deflect towards Tavares. Now it's Hughes. Away, but gives it away. Zwerb. Now, well, Zwerb might make another play at it, but it is cleared. So, Tay trying to hold it up. And Hasty gets in the way, and now is Morris. And it's Morris again. Good tackle from Hogan. And now, long range shot from Bozite's dipping, and it dips into Hannah Callahan's gloves. So, in case you missed any of the action, we do apologise for the technical difficulties that we experienced earlier, but 1-1 between Hills and Sydney Uni. Great news for Hills, and great news for a long-time club servant, Brooke Hasty, scoring on her 100th game for the club, and that followed 100th first grade appearance, that would be, and that follows on, that was an equaliser after Isabella Rad opened the scoring for Sydney Uni. Kirby chases that. Sloan prods it over the sideline. So we did go around the grounds on the Football New South Wales YouTube channel. It's 1-1 between Sydney Olympic and UNSW at the Crest. Last time I checked, RPA leading Rangers by 1-0 at Popondetta Park, and that goal courtesy of Terera Moana Walker, which is normally known as Mona Walker, but Ravens are winning 2-0 at the Arctic Circle. I've gone blank. And Bulls are bleeding 2-0 against Illawarra Stingrays at Lakelands Oval in Dapto. And in the 3 p.m. game, it was MacArthur Rams 4, Spirit FC 0. In last night's game, a game I was delighted to call for Football New South Wales, it being the women's match of the round for round 6. And it was Northern Tigers 0, Western Sydney Wanderers 2. And it was good to have Emily Arnold working the NPL New South Wales Instagram page for last night, as there's the tackle from Hogan. Big tackle there. Now forward to Sloan. Sloan trying to keep it moving and possibly breaks for Burns. Burns. It's cleared by Kirby. Now Hogan battling against Rad. Now sideways, and Buchanan trying to be proactive against Sutton, and you need to be, because I think we've seen it already. Illawarra Stingrays learnt to their cost last weekend that it's generally not a good idea to have Asher Sutton turn and run at you. The ball goes out. Now across to Hasty. That's direct, but that'll be too long and easy catch for Callahan. Tavares working back. Now, as infringement committed, Sydney Uni free kick, of course. As always, a plug for the NPL Women's New South Wales Team of the Week. That'll be released tomorrow across the our social media at NPL NSW_official, the Instagram page. We've also got a Facebook page. And I'm, more or less reminding myself to send my votes in at the conclusion of this game, as that goes out for a Hills throw. Yeah, can't keep our fearless leader in the Football New South Wales media team, Mark Stavroulakis, waiting. It's already a very busy weekend for him. And now, good throw. And down the line, Hills go. Swung in. Cushion header away, and then the secondary clearance. Go wide, but not so far wide that Sloan can't retrieve it. Here is Olivia Sloan. In swinger, and flag's up. The flag's up, so it wouldn't have counted anyway. In fact, actually, the flag dropped straight away, again by the assistant on the far side. Now, intercepted by Morris, and Morris, standing foot's unlucky. From Morris, saw the keeper off her line. Bozza, decent first touch from Burns, and Burns will shoot. It is wide. So the other thing I'd like to plug, just as a personal interest, is the competition I like to call the greatest cup competition in the world, the Sapphire Cup. NPL teams, the top tier teams, enter in round 3, and Sydney University have already scheduled their round 3 clash in the cup. They are at home to Western Sydney Wanderers Academy on Wednesday the 22nd of April. I believe that's a 7:30 p.m. kickoff at the Uni ground. Sydney Uni free kick there. Now, Hills United, they will travel to play South Coast Flame away, presumably at Sir Ian McLennan Oval in round 3. Details of that match yet to be confirmed. A ball, and now Hughes will keep this in. Low cross, hasty, a little prod at it. Awkward bounce for we're all concerned. And I think that's Hogan heading it forward. Now Rod. Now Hughes shoots, and it's in. And Sydney Uni are back in front. Ellen Hughes. And the goal. Aimed to her on the edge of the box. It's a good swing of the left boot to loft it over the keeper. And there we go. Uni lead once more. Oh, the wind has died down just a little bit. Might actually go back to the old notebook. It's good to do a recap of goals at the end of the game, but that would require remembering such goals. An easy goal to remember. Good strike from Ellen Hughes. So it's Hills United 1, Sydney University 2. Good sprint from Burns. And Burns, low. Zwerb. Blocked off there. Now, strong run from Van Dijk, and the flag's up. The flag is up, so good work from Van Dijk. Curled it beyond the defence, but I think jumping just a little bit too early, either possibly Tay, or maybe even Kirby. Morris. And in the 55th minute here, Hills chasing the game once more. Buchanan takes a hop and hops away from Zwerb, but slice clearance from Sandbrook. Now, cleared away, throwing. Turns out it's been a couple more goals at Popondetta Park. It's now Rangers 0, Apia 3. I think word is that a Mona Walker Goal of the Year contender has occurred, and then the customary Ashley Letter goal. And continuing this theme, players who got married in the off-season, Ashley Letter, yes, formerly known as Ashley Crofts. New name, same goal-scoring frequency. Now, forwards, and keeper's got to hurry here. Good starting position. Boomed into opposition territory. Now, got to keep an eye on Zwerb. He'll get up, so feeling a little bit sore, but Zwerb does get up, so that's the main thing. Now, one high. Zwerb to the action. The tackle and the deflection almost makes for Tavares. Here's Zwerb. They tried the switcher play. Good ball as well. And Burns is denied as a last-ditch tackle there, I think from Harris. Hughes. Now, Harris working it wide. Juric. Now, actually, that was Sutton playing. This is Juric. That's Sutton. Now, Sutton, and that's gone. Oh, well, at least it hasn't gone into the dam. Might. It's about the time as I think Xavier Taylor sends another ball onto the field, but also the signal is that there's going to be a substitution. So number 3, Alice Thompson will come on for Sydney Uni, replacing one of the goal scorers, number 20, Ellen Hughes. Alice Thompson, a player to bring off the bench. Actually, like I did see, made quite an impact coming on at about this time of the game 2 weeks ago, the game I call the Popondetta Park Rangers versus Sydney Uni. Now played through, and O'Brien gathers. Morris holding off the opponents. Now, player free on the far side, but they haven't really seen it. Hogan is blocked off, so it's good organisation from Sydney Uni there. Now, Hills haven't given up, that's for sure. Good ball out, Tavares. Now, Morris. Tavares, Morris. And tries the tackle, but Thompson gets up quickly. Stopped by Hasty. That's nice work. Now lofted ball, good header, I think from Juric. Boza tries again. And then good tackle from Boza. And now Hills can reorganise. Now, Bonora. And the wide option is Juric. So past the hour mark here. Sydney Uni leading Hills by 2-1. Sutton on another run down the left-hand side. Buchanan gives chase. Decent play here, and the hop, not quite the whip desired on that cross, but I think for overlap coming from Juric there in the cross, but Juric getting some encouragement from the Sydney Uni technical area nonetheless. Sloan plays it up to the centre circle. Decent header there. Now Bonora lofts it over and it's straight at O'Brien. Sydney Uni have made a sub, so a maximum of 4 more subs they can make and 2 more sub windows that they have. So another reminder that of who else you might see later on for the students, as Juric gets the foot in there. But so Evie Fisher is letting her hair hang down at the moment. She's on the bench as the backup keeper. The others we could see later: Jenny Hill, Emily Brewster, Noor Hijazi, Claudia Pickett, and Sienna Barham. As Tay with the run, and once again Hasty stopping further progress. Sydney Uni throw coming up. Meanwhile, Hills bench, Nicola Simmons, backup keeper. You could also see later the Berrios sisters, Ellen and Portia, as well as Madison Tassis, Rachel Glendenning, Amy Mastop, or Isabella Muscat. Whipped in swinger, caught by O'Brien. Dealt with well by Kirby. Van Dyke loses out. Now, that will get away from Zwerb. Uni have the scoreboard advantage, courtesy of Isabella Rad and Ellen Hughes. Isabella Rad, that's her 3rd goal of the season. For Ellen Hughes, that's her 2nd. Now, Davison gets it back from Buchanan across to Hasty. By the way, of course, I was talking about all the streams we have today in women's football on the Football New South Wales YouTube channel. I almost forgot, but there was an absolute goal fest in one of the other early game, the 2nd Division game, League One Women's at Jensen Park. Bankstown City scoring at the death to defeat Central Coast Mariners by 4-3. Hills a free kick, and Burns goes direct and swings wide. So 65th minute or thereabouts here at Valentine Sports Park. Let's see, I might just drip feed in games coming up. Next weekend's streams in women's football that you can watch on the Football New South Wales YouTube channel. Uni playing it out from the back. The way, and it starts on Saturday the 18th of April. There's a 3 p.m. game between Spirit and Illawarra at the Arctic Circle, and now that daylight saving is finished, probably will be Arctic at that venue in Ryde Council. And if any viewers perchance will be travelling to that game, I hope you enjoy hearing my voice in a different way to the way you're hearing it now. Buchanan, and then that goes out. So there's also 6 NPL Women's New South Wales games. On Sunday the 19th of April, I'll be on the mic at Lambert Park, 2:15 p.m. kickoff, RPL Leichhardt versus Sydney Olympic. And Sunday 19th, there's a 2:40 p.m. game at Northbridge Oval. Oh, it'll be cold there. Anyway, that's Bulls versus the Wanderers. 3 p.m. on Sunday the 19th, Hills United are away at Cromer Park, as keeper hesitates, but actually Callahan gathers and the flag was up for offside anyway. But yes, in 7 days' time, Hills are playing away at Cromer Park, 3 p.m. game. And there's 3 games at 5 p.m. on Sunday the 19th. Sydney University host Macarthur Rams. Love a game between Sydney Uni and Macarthur Rams. That's a Hills Throwers. I'd say the most iconic matchup in New South Wales football. Uni versus Rams in women's, as that's cleared by Harris. Also at 5 p.m. in 7 days' time, UNSW host Ravens in our match of the round. The roster says it's commentary from Teo Pellizzeri and Emily Arnold, as well as Maeve Sparrow on the socials, and the photography from Joey Bidingen. And the other 5 p.m. game on Sunday the 19th is the Rangers versus Northern Tigers, what I like to call the Culture Clash Derby. Don't need to explain that one, as Kirby will just watch that go out. And next weekend's League One Women's Match of the Round is actually on Saturday the 18th of April, a 3 p.m. game, and it's a pretty good one. It's between South Coast Flame and the team leading the second division heading into this round, that being the Newcastle Jets Academy. It's a good matchup, those two clubs, because when you see Jets in action, you generally also see Flame as well. Now Sloan will prepare the throw. To the edge of the box. Now back to Hasty. And Hasty starts for the open player, which is Davidson. Hogan, and might have lost out here, but that spins towards Hogan. Now, Thompson trying to run and cut inside Alice Thompson. Now, Sutton stayed onside. Now, on the turn, a shot from range, it's dipping, but it's also quite. Not quite wide, about a couple of meters wide. Decent try nonetheless. So while in the mid to plug League One Women, so going a bit long range with this one, but in a couple of weekends' time, second division match of the round for round 9, Sunday 26th of April, 5:30 p.m. kickoff at Jensen Park between Bankstown City and Marconi Stallions. Blocks the throw, and now Gerard working back. Kirby as the wind blows once again. Now Thompson across Buchanan. A couple of bites at the cherry. Now strong run here, and then Davidson prods it away, but kept alive, and then that'll be keeper's ball. Tell you what, not the biggest bloke. I might blow away in this wind. Got to find something to hold on to. As O'Brien rolls it out to Davidson. Almost at the final 20 minutes here. I think that's Morris on the far side. Harris with a good tackle. And that will just end up going out. Well, they go off piste a bit more, but congratulations. Actually, as Uni played out from the back, congratulations to one of our commentary team, Lockie Flanagan. Actually, word coming in, he's received his first ever call-up to call for the Paramount on the Paramount Plus coverage of the A-League men's competition. Well done, Lockie. He's done a few A-League women's games over the past 2 seasons. Now he's getting a chance in A-League men's. That's one to make our commentary team proud. And Morris. Now, so run there, and then Tay, but it's Buchanan round the cover, and Tay will have a shot, and it's rising and hit the frame of the goal. What a shot from Poppy Tay. She nearly scored again after her hat trick last week. Denied. Van Dyke can't roll past a couple of defenders. Here's Morris. Now Tavares. Tavares won, and again the chase from Zverev. Little look over the shoulder from Sandbrook, and then Sandbrook deciding to take no chances. Substitution coming up, and it's going to be a first appearance of the season for Isabella Muscat, formerly known as Isabella Shibaris. First roll of the dice from the Hills coach Alan Tassis, and the 73rd minute. Good shift from Neve Burns out on the right-hand side for Hills United. Muscat will get about, once you factor into account stoppage time and the like, about 20 minutes to be a match saver for Hills. Once again, good option to have off the bench. Muscat last season's Player of the Year for the League One women's competition. Now, back heel, and Muscat just lets it run away from her, but could still be alive, and the cross into the middle ends up as a goal kick. Now, ball over the top. Hasty plays it forward. Hogan finds the open player. And Buchanan. And that's two straight. Callahan comfortable to let that run out for a goal kick. Muscat. Now, Bozza. And Bozza threading it through, but sent high into the night sky and out for a throw-in. Now, Hogan committed. Pinged for the foul against Poppy Tay. I think I see Ellen Barrios being sent to warm up. I did also see Ellen Barrios in action in the under-23s game that was played before this one. So we might see Barrios get a bit of a run. Now, also speaking of substitutes, I think we may see Noor Hijazi and Emily Brewster in action before too long. Ball rolls out now. There's a signal. Uni gonna make a double substitution. That's the second window that they'll use. Number 19 is Noor Hijazi, about to come on. Number 17 is Emily Brewster, and they're replacing. Can't get track of the cert numbers. I might have to kind of do this by process of elimination. I think Poppy Tay is one of the players to be subbed. As the challenge from Kirby, I think the other player to be subbed is Kiara Benora. Last touch off. Thompson. Into the final quarter of an hour here. Now they work it out wide. Buchanan, but Buchanan not just settle for the throw, plays it off an attacker. And for Sydney Uni, I mentioned games coming up for them. I talked about next weekend where they host MacArthur Rams on the 19th. And of course, all NPL Women's New South Wales games, obviously. You can watch the same way you're watching this one on the Football New South Wales YouTube channel. There's a cup game on Wednesday 22nd of April. Uni hosting Western Sydney Wanderers Academy. No cup streams, unfortunately, at least not at round 3. And then Sloan will continue the run. It's an interesting ball to Tavares, but Sambro clears. And then Sydney Uni, they end April. And they've got a match on Anzac night, Saturday 25th of April, 6:30 p.m. King, away to Northern Tigers. Then the mid-season window opens, so from May onwards, we will see A-League women players filtering back into the competition to add a little bit more spice to what is already a very interesting league. And I suppose Sydney Uni's first game in May is Saturday 2nd of May, away to Spirit at the Arctic Circle. That'd be a 3 p.m. kickoff. Tavares. Back to Sloan. Now, Callahan was the sweeper keeper, but Harris decided to take over. Callahan just backpedaling there. There's the header. Now, Morris gets it back. Inadvertent 1-2 of an opponent. Rod, good tackle. Now Sloan prods it, but only finds Hijazi. And then Hasty going to slow it up. And that battle continues. Now taking over. Kirby running forward from the back. Here's Amelia Kirby. Across the box, and the shot. Good save from O'Brien to deny. I think it was Brewster in the end. That was a flowing move from Sydney Uni. Kirby with a great supporting run from right back. Nice pass into the middle, and Brewster enjoying an impressive diving save from Kiara O'Brien. Hand swinger and too much swinging into the side netting for a goal kick. And Muscat is the furthest player forward for Hills, and they keep it short for now with Davidson. Now Muscat didn't take the ball with her, but I was wondering, I don't think the flag was going to go up. She's so good at timing those runs, Isabella Muscat. That's what Sydney Uni have to be aware of as Thompson draws the foul. Now, played up to the left-hand side for Sydney Uni. Cross blocked by Buchanan. Sutton. I think that might be Urich. It's up. Played forward by Hogan. Long range shot from Van Dyke. And after the heroics a couple of minutes ago, a more straightforward save. Now, Sutton's played it to Hijazi. Hijazi shoots and it's in. And it's 3-1. Long range shot and the substitute does the damage. On swing of the left boot. Great trajectory on it. Sydney Uni leading by 3-1 here against Hills United. Sydney Uni. Tricky start to the season for them. 3 losses in the first 4 games, but after last weekend's high scoring and high octane win against Illawarra Stingrays, they found another 3 goals. And actually, they'd be close to the top scorers in the league. That strike from Hijazi, now goal number 14 for the Students in 2026. Tackle there from Sloan. Now, double sub coming up. We're going to have a bit of sister act for the remaining 7.5 minutes plus stoppage time. Ellen and Portia Barrios will go onto the field. Bianca Suera makes way, as does Tamsin Buchanan. Thompson. Ball in there now. Morris. And then the tackle from Thompson. Tavares chucks it down the line, then gets another throw. Another header there. It's up. Now Brewster, another of their Uni substitutes. Played, now Hijazi, now disguises it. Brewster shoots, and it's in off the inside of the post. What a strike from Brewster. It's the second time Sydney Uni have hit the frame of that particular goal to our right. Nearly 4-1 to the Students. Now across from Thompson, Hijazi. Now chance maybe for Brewster. It's cleared into Brewster. No handball shout. Uni won't hang around, and Van Dyke, and that is a much less exciting effort. Skied. Well. Sloan steals in there, but the touch from Van Dijk. Hasty slows it down again. Now Morris defending Hijazi. I think she wants to settle for the throw. Well, she does, eventually, despite Libby Morris's protestations. The line, and it's out. Not enough bend from Sandbrook to keep that in play. Now, header, that goes backwards. It's like, got to be tough to judge the lofted balls in this win. So Hills have a corner. Swung in, decent ball and not gathered by the keeper. Uni still got some work to do, and away it goes. Now, it's one for Hijazi to chase, one for Sloan to chase as well. Hijazi very, very fast and is away. They will get a one-on-one here. Nor Hijazi just hesitates a bit. Side netting. And it's always that way when the spectators are on the opposite side of the goal to where the ball hits the net. A brief cheer, but it's hit the outside of the net, not the inside of the net. Making their way down their left-hand side by way of throw-in. Yes. Our fearless leader, the Golden Greek, Mark Stavroulakis, has sent us a reminder, so yes, I'm going to remind you all as well. NPL Women's New South Wales Team of the Week on our Instagram and Facebook page coming up tomorrow. And there we go, Muscat is offside there. And here's the restart. Get away from Thompson. Sloan prods it back. Brian clears. Over the sideline, Sydney Uni in absolutely no hurry. Thompson couldn't quite get past two players. Back to Rod. It was her goal that started proceedings for Sydney Uni today. Now, into the final minute of the 90. There's a run down the right-hand side, I think, from Davidson, who's shifted out wider for the closing stages of the game. Morris. And Davidson, and it's Portia Barrios, I think, but can't get away through the red jerseys. Hasty. Now, Sloan and Tavares. Good run from Portia Barrios. Out for a throw, of course. bit over, perhaps one last plug for streams coming up. And women's football on the Football New South Wales YouTube channel. 2 streams on Saturday 18th of April, both at 3 p.m. The NPL women's stream is Spirit versus Stingrays from the Arctic Circle. The League One women's stream is Flame versus Jets from Sir Ian McLennan Oval. And there's 5 NPL women's streams on Sunday the 19th of April. 2:15 p.m. I've got commentary for Arpia versus Olympic. 2:40 p.m. Bulls versus the Wanderers. 3 p.m. Manly versus Hills. And a trio of games at 5 p.m. on Sunday the 19th. Those are the match of the round, UNSW versus Ravens, as well as Sydney Uni versus MacArthur and Rangers versus Northern Tigers. A good, productive shift for Isabella Rad. That's a well-deserved round of applause. And congratulations from the Uni bench. Coming on, number 10, Jenny Hill, for the closing stages of this contest. In fact, that is that. So it is Sydney University's 3rd win of the season. They moved their tally to 9 points. So a case of 3 goals and a very successful night out in Western Sydney for the students. They've defeated Hills United by 3 goals to 1. Isabella Rad opened the scoring in the early stages. There was a Hills United equaliser for Brooke Hasty on her 100th first-grade appearance for the club, but then 2 second-half goals have earned the biscuits for Sydney Uni. It was Ellen Hughes who put Sydney Uni back 2-1 up, and then late stages, Noor Hijazi off the bench and a spectacular long-range goal to make it 3 goals to 1. It's just about time to sign off. One last reminder, perhaps, of games I'm calling for you fans of my commentary. I know you're out there somewhere, so yes. Sunday 19th of April, 2:15 p.m. from Lambert Park, I'm calling Arpia Leichhardt versus Sydney Olympic. And then Sunday 26th of April, a bit of an early plug for this, I've got the match of the round for the last weekend in April, Sunday 26th of April, 5:40 p.m. kickoff from the Crest between Sydney Olympic and MacArthur Anderson. Why not? I'll plug the next game I know, which is Sunday 3rd of May from Cromer Park, Manly United versus UNSW, 5 p.m. kickoff. I'm calling that as well. But it is time to get out of here and find some shelter from the wind. On behalf of Football New South Wales, our broadcast partner Sportscast, and today's camera operator Joss, Eric Subihano signing off from Valentine Sports Park. Hope you have a warm rest of the day. One final happy Easter to all our Orthodox family and friends, and we hope to see you soon. Hope you have a company soon on our YouTube channel. The final score here from Glenwood: Hills United 1, Sydney University 3. Good night.